Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jeanette Brown, Director of Public Affairs at SCAMP, and this is our fourth project case study of the year. We're very pleased to highlight a project that was jointly developed by Linc Housing and National Court. And today we have Gabriel Gonzalez from National Court and Denise Petrulis from Linc Housing, who are going to go over a very exciting project with you all called Fairview Heights. So Gabriel and Denise, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, first and foremost, for the opportunity to be here. My name is Gabriel Gonzalez, as you heard, and I'm with National Core. I'm a project manager, and I was fortunate enough to be part of this great development, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, hi, and my name is Denise Petrulis. I'm with Linc Housing, and I'm the project manager. And just really happy to be here. And I've had a great time working with Gabriel and the whole National Core team on Fairview Heights.
Thank you. And, we want to take this opportunity to showcase what a wonderful development this is. And, as the title says, how we got it built. So, if we can go to the next slide, if you would, please. It'll give us a sense of what, like most of us, what we're all about, building communities with the understanding that we want to make sure that that most of our residents have a place to call home. And so this is a great opportunity for us to do so. Next. And this was the original rendering of what we had in mind. As you all know, things do change as you go through different aspects of the development, but still, it's still a beautiful building and a beautiful project. And the next slide just gives you an overview of what Fairview Heights it's all about. We have 101 apartment homes. Of course, as you know, it always includes a manager's apartment. 50 of those are reserved for individuals experiencing homelessness, which is a big deal for all of us that are involved in this amazing job that we do. And the other 50 are mixed affordable apartments. These are going to be for families. So we have a makeup of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, as well as we will have community room, a computer lab, an outdoor courtyard with a tot lot, bicycle storage, and it will also include about 5,000, I think it's 5,000 square feet of commercial space. Next. This project, it was part of an RFP that Metro put out for the site, which is right across the street from the Fairview Heights Metro station in Inglewood, which is part of the Crenshaw LAX Metro line. And as you can see, it's conveniently located to SoFi Stadium. So, which is one of those things that it's always a good thing in order for us to be able to provide convenient sites and the convenience of being close to major centers. Next. Our partners, as everything that we do, we need partners in everything in the development of this. And we have Bank of America. LACDA was a major part of this project as well. As you can see, we have different sources within the LACDA, as well as Prop A funds from the 2nd District. These funds, especially the Prop A funds, and Denise will go into this a little bit further. It's it allows us to create an awesome, and you saw this mural, which it's a great way for us to showcase regional or local artists, as well as enhance the project as well. And just like everything, it's cost a lot to do, but it's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing project. Our partners, as you can see on the next slide, not only does it include LACDA, but we have the Department of Mental Health, the City of Inglewood, ourselves in Metro, which was an important part of this RFP, and the County of LA, as well as the police department at the City of Inglewood. I'll go into a little bit about what this how this process started in terms of the RFP. As I said, it was Metro who put this RFP. I think it was about 2017 or early 2017, 2018, and part of what this is all about is how we got to build, right? So it's community engagement from day one, making sure that all of the stakeholders are invited to the table. Let them know what you're doing and keep them informed. The collaboration between the city, which was great, the county and the supervisor's office was just a great collaboration. It was eminent in getting this done. And we'll go into more details at later in the presentation, but this was part of how we got this through, not only through the, we're getting it through the construction and through the finish line. Part of also of what this did for us was, as I said, getting the city involved. We were always responsive to whatever they needed, and making sure that everything was done in a timely manner. As you may know, many of us are busy with many things coming our way, but we want to make sure that the information that is required is given in a timely manner. So therefore, the responsiveness from both us as the developers and the city, it's always an open communication. Part of what also helped us get through the construction is making sure that we collaborate with our consultants at an early stage and always have them involved in every aspect of the process. CASP, for instance, right? That has been something that's been coming up in some projects out there. And towards the end, and then we're having to scramble for things and for us to get things done. So if we get involvement of our consultants at every aspect and along the way, it will help alleviate many of or any challenges that may come up. So there's also, as I said, it's just collaboration. I think it's #1 key. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Denise to give us more information about the project.
Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Yeah, and so some of the community highlights, again, we want to be a part of the community. And so one of the things that we've done here is just expanded access to public transit. It's directly across the street from the Fairview Heights Metro stop. We're also creating 5,000 square feet of community serving retail space. And that's something that as we're looking at potential tenants, we're really looking at what does the community need? And we're asking people who live in the community, who work in the community, what are the resources and services that are needed in this area? And so we're keeping that in consideration as we're looking at tenants for that ground floor. We're also looking at, all of our properties are high quality development. This one happens to have a public art installation, which again, we reached out to the community. This was always something that was really important to us to make sure that we are representing the community that we build in and that we're creating resources and services that support the community's growth. And this is also an example of how affordable housing can improve a community. This isn't just for the residents, it's really for the entire community. We have the community serving retail space, and as we'll get into in a couple more slides, we also have a local nonprofit as well as the Inglewood Police Department. We can go to the next slide. So this is just a great view of the finished product for the mural, the artwork that we've created. We can go to the next slide and I'll go into a little bit more detail. So the artwork is called Rise Above. And this came about through the City of Inglewood % for Art requirement. And we decided to go ahead and create public art with this affordable housing project. And so at the very beginning, we reached out to a wide group of artists, local artists who responded to a request for qualifications. We selected one from the very many that we heard from. And we also engaged the artists with the community to really develop the piece of artwork. And so one of the things that we ended up with, so you can see the flowers in the foreground, those represent local flowers that grow in Inglewood. We also created the artwork to represent a diverse set of hands reaching up towards the sky in hope and unity, and got community feedback as to what were the themes that were really relevant to the community. Some of the elements that came through were home, unity, and security. And you can see that in the icons on the acrylic panels that frame the artwork. We also have an augmented reality piece that when you hold your phone up to the artwork, the hands start to reveal different tableaus of community, family, heritage, history, and really represent all of the themes that we heard from the community. So we're really excited to have this as a part of our project. And it's something that really incorporated a number of people from the community. We also have a documentary layer in the augmented reality piece that share interviews with local community members. So we're really excited to share their voices as well. We can go to the next slide. One of the other things that we do at all of our projects is we create life-enhancing services. And so at this particular project, we have the Linc ICMS team providing intensive case management services for folks coming out of homelessness. We also provide resident services to everyone in the building. And all of those services really help the residents achieve what their own goals. And we create plans, we work with them to understand what their needs are and create services to support them. We also have the Linc Housing Welcome Home program, which provides certain household goods as people are moving into their new homes. So things like linens and kitchenware to make sure that they get started off on the right foot. And we also provide a variety of adult and youth education programs and health and well-being programs. Next slide. And one of the other things that we're really proud of is that, again, it comes back to community. And so we've collaborated with a local nonprofit called One for All, and they empower youth through community-based programs. And we're actually right now planning a gift card giveaway event in December for the holidays. We're going to have a brand new office space for this nonprofit, which is something brand new for them. We've been working with the board of directors and the executive director of One for All to make sure that they have what they need to really expand their programs and expand their reach in the community. We also have a police community drop-in center, and that's with the Inglewood Police Department. And they actually have a similar drop-in center on the other side of Inglewood. And this one will be a new space where people can drop in. It's really designed to host community-focused events and develop stronger relationships in the community. So we're really excited to have them on site and a part of this project. And as we've mentioned already, we also have 5,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground floor. And we're in the process of looking for tenants that really serve the community and what we've heard about what types of services and resources are needed. Great. We can go to the next slide. And just to sort of sum up, and Gabriel, feel free to jump in if you want to join in here. But some of the keys to success are really communication. We've really spent a lot of time reaching out to partners, reaching out to the community, and sharing ideas, asking questions, listening, and making sure that we include as many people as possible to make sure that we have good communication. The partnership between National Core and Linc Housing has also been really helpful. We each bring our own strengths to the table, and Gabriel and I regularly collaborate and just make sure that everything's being taken care of. We play to each other's strengths. We support one another to make sure that the project is moving along smoothly. And that's been a really important part of getting everything done.
Yeah, I think that we, as Denise said, we have a standing 30-minute call every week on top of everything else that we do, and that's just to check in. Sometimes it may just be just to check in personally. We're all bombarded with a lot of things that we're doing throughout the day, throughout our week. And, we check in, how's everything, where are we on this, where are we on that? So communication, I think, has been a great tool for us to get through many of our challenges. And and the other thing is, not only do we communicate between ourselves, but also between our partners, and engaging them as early as possible. I'm one to, and I think that goes for everybody, right? We don't always like surprises, and surprises it could be good, it could be bad. And so when you have everyone involved, that creates a path and creates a process to take on whatever challenges, whatever surprise may come on. And so as soon as you can engage them, I think that's going to help all of us get through the finish line in many of our developments. And we have this last thing here: start the lease up process early. We started, I think, about a year ago, almost early this year.
It's been many months.
Many months.
Yeah, but one of the great things about the lease up for this project is that we're all bringing something to the table. So we have National Core acting as the property manager. We have Linc, ICMS, and resident services providing services on site. We have our partner agencies, the Department of Mental Health and Health Services, Brilliant Corners, LACDA, and everyone's bringing something to the lease up process and making sure that we have a great community for people to move into. And that's something that I think is really unique about this project, is that all of us are really playing a part in it.
Yes, and it's always, again, working on each other's strengths, making sure that some of us are better at one thing, and being open to feedback, being open to taking on certain things that you don't always think of. And so this has allowed us to get this, and his I think has worked pretty well, and I think this is the second of a few that we have in the works, and a few more that I'm sure are going to be coming online. So I believe that is the. Is there more?
I think there's maybe another slide or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the timeline. We started construction back in December of 2019, and we're nearly done. You know, we're looking to finish up construction towards the end of December and start moving people in. And then in the spring, we'll have our grand opening, and hopefully the metro line will be open at that time too, so people can start exploring a little bit there. But it's been a great project, and I think, you know, we've all learned a lot about just this type of collaboration and what works, and how we can go forward and implement it again.
Exactly. The next slide is just an overview from the east side of the building, looking again at the mural, which is going to be anchoring this area. By the way, is it's a public plaza, which will have not only this mural, but it could also be a waiting area for the metro station across the street. So this is in, you know, we have other things that we have, you know, it could possibly be used for. So with that, I believe that is the end of our presentation. And if anybody has any questions, things that we could possibly try to answer.
Thank you, Gabriel and Denise. We do have a few questions. Let's start with one about which architects did you use? And is it a walk-up or does it include elevators?
We use KFA, right? And it does have an elevator, thankfully. So it is subterranean parking with 4 floors of, is it 3 or 4? I always get them confused. I think it's 3 floors of apartment homes.
Got it. And you mentioned you did an RFQ process for the artist who created the mural, but can you say who the actual artist was that you picked? Someone wanted to know who that was, who created it.
Yeah, the artists are, I think they're local. They're named Yano and Zoe, and they've done a number of murals around the world, including augmented reality murals as well. But this is the largest one in Los Angeles, I believe. So, so we're excited for it. And, you know, it's a lot of new technology and really engaging. So we see this as a way to really call attention to the benefits that affordable housing can bring to a community.
Great, thanks. And someone wanted you to talk a little bit more about Brilliant Corners and their involvement in the project.
So Brilliant Corners is going to be administering the vouchers. So they're the flexible housing subsidy pool from the county. And so they're going to be administering the vouchers. And so their involvement is a little bit different than most, but Denise, do you want to talk about what they do or how they're going to do that?
Yeah, so we have an MRSA, Master Rent Subsidy Agreement, with Brilliant Corners. And so they're administering the subsidies for the homeless units. And yeah. Pretty
much it, yeah.
Great. And Melinda asked, when was the approximate start date of the project proposal and the entitlement process?
So the RFP was back in 2017. Although I was not involved in that process, the initial process, I think the entitlement may have been about a year. But we closed in 2019, so I'm thinking that it was about a year.
Okay. There were 2 more questions about the mural. Someone wanted to ask about the cost of it and they wanted a little more clarification about what you meant about viewing it through your phone and how it appears differently through your phone.
Yeah, so the budget for the artwork was about $200,000. I think the augmented reality was that was an optional piece, and that was a little bit more. But what happens is we'll have a QR code. We'll have some signs up where you can scan a QR code, and then pointing your phone at the mural will activate the animation. And so the hands will start to move, the flowers will start to bloom, and there are different images that will be revealed through this animation, just depicting concepts of community and family and togetherness. And so that's part of the animation layer. We also have a documentary layer, which if you swipe past the animation, you'll see interviews with people who live and work in Inglewood, and just describing what home means to them, the value of living in Inglewood and being part of the community. And we're really excited that we got to work with the community to design this piece of art.
Great. And Josephine asks, how did you market to the community? How did you do that outreach process?
It all starts with, getting the city involved. I think talking to the city leaders to let them know what you have in mind, and leveraging community organizations, local organizations. OFA, which is One for All, which is an organization that's been around for several years. I think it's over a decade. It's an organization that will be housed in at this particular development, and they were instrumental in getting this done, right? Because they saw the need, they saw the potential of what it did, and it does, and it will do to the immediate area. And so how do you do that? You start reaching out to local organizations that have a vision that aligns with yours as well. So, and then just go out. One organization will lead you to another, and will lead you to another, and that's what you do. And I think, as Denise says, community involvement in all aspects of the development was instrumental in getting it done. So it's local organizations that will help you get whatever you want to do done.
Great. And we have another question about, since it's located across the street from the Metro stop, did you get a parking variance? If so, what is the unit to parking slot ratio?
Ooh, that's always an issue everywhere you go. Fortunately, so this side was big enough, and we did do, I think that the ratio is 1 to 1. So yeah, we didn't have a variance, even though it's a TOD. But again, listening to your community, right? Listening to the, and there it is, a city required 1 to 1. So that was a requirement to get this done. So we want to make sure that we did what they asked us to do, pending that it can be done, but that you have to listen, and that was a requirement from the city, and we were able to accommodate.
Got it. And someone asked about the funding sources. So just so everyone knows, we will email out the slides to everyone shortly after this presentation, and there is a slide that shows you the funding sources. Linda asked about the size of the commercial space. I think you said it was 5,000, and she wants to know if you've had any lease up issues with that commercial space.
Yeah, so we're still working on identifying tenants. We've been talking to a number of different groups, and we're just looking for the right fit for that space.
Okay. Jim had a question about who will be responsible for maintaining the mural, and who's responsible for that cost?
We are.
We are.
So, you know, this was was a percentage for art, right? So he was either pay in lieu or have something like this. And I think that this was a great opportunity. This was great for us to have done this. It enhances not only the development, but the area as well. And, but if you do this, one thing to learn is that in your budget, make sure that you put a maintenance reserve, 8 from the get-go, because you are, as the owner and property manager, you are responsible for the maintenance of your mural.
Great. Well, I think that's all the questions and we're right at time. So I think we will say our goodbyes. I want to thank both Linc Housing and National Core for taking the time to share this project case study. And thank you again, Gabriel and Denise. And we'll say our goodbyes.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.